Hey, what's up, everybody? Frosty Endurance Training Block, Team Wilpers, Week 2 Athlete Briefing. Did Week 1 last week, and I might not have introduced myself. I'm not sure if I did or not. I can't remember, but you're gonna get it again, and it's gonna be a little bit different. I'm Coach Greg Wagoner. Welcome to everybody, and yeah, being coach of a big group, this is 3,100 people now, and it's a little bit daunting just over Thanksgiving with the family, and we had some guests in our house afterwards. I got a lot of questions. What do you do for a living? Well, yeah, good question. What do I do? Well, I coach this huge group of awesome people who do power zone training, and nobody has a clue what I'm talking about. So it's a little daunting. I'm coach to all of you. There are some really smart people out there, and hardworking, and I really rely on you for answering questions that are asked of the newcomers, who everybody is welcome, and it's working out great, I think. In the Facebook group, there are questions asked and answered, and I go in and kind of be just an organizer, really. So it's relieving to me to remember that there are such awesome people helping, and this is all a group and family effort. There's no way I could coach this many people. I do coach private athletes, and we have private conversations, and that's a much different atmosphere, but this is amazing to have this huge number of people, and seems to be working. So let's get into week number 2. Oh, a little bit more. In addition to coach, I'm also an athlete, just like you all. I train on the bike. I use a bike for fitness, my primary mode of fitness. I ride a bike using power zones. I've been doing it really since 2003. I started racing my bike in 2000, I think, and got a first power meter in 2003. So it's been a long time, and the evolution of all the science and everything that it can be used for has been amazing. So I've been on this journey for quite a long time, and so have some of you, which is amazing. So let's get into week number 2 of this particular training block, which is an endurance-based training block. Some topics I've seen. We'll start with topics I've seen asked and answered for the most part in the Facebook group, which are FTP. Okay, to do this type of training, yes, you do have to take an FTP test. You have to have your zones properly dialed so that the workouts make sense. And if you're doing it untested versus tested, you will see a world of difference. This is specific to your capabilities at this time. So if you haven't tested recently, you do kind of need to take a test and set your zones based on the result of that FTP test. If you're new to power zone training, you need to take a test. Take a 10-minute warm-up, take the test, listen to the instructor, whoever's taking the test on the Peloton, and go for it. And if you need help with that, by all means, post up, and somebody will help you, or I will help you, and we'll get you squared away. I don't believe in over-testing. I don't think you should FTP test at the beginning and end of every one of these training periods. So every 2 months is probably too often. If you're brand new to this, go ahead and test every 2 months for a year. That'll be great. You'll probably go up every time. If you're a veteran and you're 5 years, 10 years, 20 years into this, testing all the time can really be a demotivator, I think. So we find other ways to just to validate your training. There are plenty of other methods besides an FTP test. But for right now, if you're new and you haven't done an FTP test, please get that done and post up if you need help with it. Other technical questions have been about posting graphs. All of those awesome graphs, the rainbow colors, right? I believe that comes from M-Paceline. There's an app, M-Paceline, that seems to be the consensus in the daily graph thread. Post your graph in that thread. My friend Chris Miller, Christine, has worked hard in designing the daily post your graph here, and it's for organization. So I think I said before that I'm just an organizer of conversations. And Chris is helping me to be organized. She called me once at the beginning of this year when this Team Wilper cycling was getting started. She's like, Greg, let me organize this. You need some things to organize the Facebook group, and she's right. So thank you for putting those things in place. Welcome to the new athletes, to the new members, and post your graph here. And the other one on Friday, I believe, is what are your weekly wins? So what mattered this week? So look for those. Thank you to Chris. Everybody give her a big bunch of love in the comments and posts, and she is awesome and helping us keep things together. Chris, if you ever come to my house, you'll see it needs some organization also. So we'll work on it. All right. Hope everybody's finding the workouts for your plan, either the core plan or the upgraded all access. If you've done a different version, then I hope you're finding your plans. It's in an email. A weekly email comes out on Thursday morning. And also go into your Team Wilpers portal at teamwilpers.com and find challenges and go log into your portal, and you'll have your workouts there. All right. A lot of people have been posting about injuries or illnesses, and maybe the last training session of this year, before we get to this one, people were sidelined with injury or COVID or some other surgeries. I just get a feeling like there are several people who were out there who are getting back into it with this training block. And whether you've done the whole season perfectly, flawlessly, or whether you had to sit out some time, this is a great base building block. Endurance, sub-threshold, okay? This is the time to get back in and get on a consistent schedule. Nothing is going to throw you off your game. You don't need to be fit before you do this program. And if you are at the top of your fitness, we're going to bring it down a little bit. So there's a lot of hype on zone 2 training right now. I just want to say this training block is not that. It's not zone 2. This is a base building training period, which in our world it means zone 2, but also zone 3 and sweet spot. So you will see intensities all the way up to and almost to threshold, but all of it sub-threshold, but certainly not all zone 2. So get ready to work. You're going to get pushed and you're going to work, but there's no zone 4, zone 5, or zone 6. Okay? And I'm happy to talk about that more, but there's lots of good info out there on the internet, or we can talk about it. A good proper base building period is sub threshold. That's how we go. So that being said, the rides, though they're 45 minutes. The core plan is they are 45 minutes during the week, 1 hour on Saturday, and 30 minutes on Sunday if you're doing all 5 rides. Now, this might seem a little tame, and it should be. This leaves room for strength training. This is an awesome time. The month of December, the month of January, get the strength training going. The all access people have the ability to go cycling and strength, and you can get a good schedule of strength classes from Peloton, or the Team Wilper Strength is awesome. And if you need help with that, let me know or post up. But I am going to be asking what everybody's doing for strength in the coming weeks, and I want some discussion going on about it. For right now, this week we're talking about goal setting and expectations, and I posted up this morning a little bit late. Usually I do it earlier in the week, the weekly topic. This is goal setting. What's going to make this program a success for you at the end? So a few shout outs, okay? Shout out time. Rashida James, the 6 Ps. Prior proper planning prevents poor performance. That is awesome. You deserve a hat. Team Wilpers, I'm going to make them send you a hat because I love that. Don Winston, complete it. Of course, that's your goal. Yeah, I wrote the whole program. You don't need to make any more goals. I gave you the goal. Complete it. Perfect. Okay. Judy Bulby, sorry if I said that wrong. Finding the right balance with strength. That's what I'm talking about. Balance with strength. This is the perfect time to do that. We are not trying to make gains on the bike unless you're just getting started. We are not trying to kill it on the bike and break records with PZE rides. We're trying to modestly go through the cycling program, but build some strength with the strength plan. Okay. Shannon Douglas, pre-planning. Yeah, that's what it's all about too. Pre-planning, diet, stress. Oh man, you can fix so many problems with pre-planning. Thank you. Kathy Wilkes, looking for accountability. You're in the right place. We're here for you. Josh Verdon says, focusing on recovery between sessions. Thank you. This is so important. We talk about recovery all the time. And of course, all of my top contributors, our top contributors are posting up in there as well. So thank you to everyone else. And good job to all of those new posters and everyone who is contributing. That's what it takes. That all being said, who wants to talk about the workouts for next week? Okay, we've got on Monday Olivia taught Power Zone Endurance class. Okay, after a warm up, you will be led through Zone 3 and Zone 2 intervals, like most PZE classes. Now, if you're new here, you know that I put you are maybe learning that I put a percentage to Zone 2, Zone 3, and so percentage of FTP. If she calls out Zone 2, I want you to go at 70%, and if she calls out Zone 3, go at 85%, and ignore the 110 cadence, please, unless that suits you. Okay. Percentage of FTP. Yeah, you do have to do some math. Figure it out. We do provide timers. If you don't know what the timers are, click on the timer and that takes you through exactly what I'm talking about with percentages. But you do have to look at it ahead of time and complete some math to know what your exact power outputs are, okay? Ask the veterans here. I think it kind of works out that way. So for this week, I'm going with 85% for Zone 3 and 70% for Zone 2. And that is up from 83% and 70% last week. So just a little difference, but it adds a little bit of progressive nature to the program. Okay, Wednesday has a Christine-led PZE, and this is another key workout, so same intensities. Let's go 85% for Zone 3, 70% for Zone 2. I just gave it away by licking my finger that I have notes. Still haven't figured out the high-tech way, but Thursday, let's dial it back, okay? This is not a key workout. You might not even have it on your schedule, but it is a Ben-led PZE. So now take the intensity down just a little bit. Zone 3 portions should be done at 80% of FTP. Zone 2 still at 70%. Saturday's next. 1 hour Matt-led PZE class, back up to 85% and 70%. My friend Matt will take you through an awesome class, but keep those numbers in mind, 85% and 70% for this week on Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. Sunday is another recovery ride. We'll do that. It's a 30-minute Eric-led PZE class, and let's go 80% and 70% again. The TSS, if you do all 5 of those rides, with the timers or with the percentages that I give you, is at about 223 weekly TSS, up from 213 the week before. If TSS is new for you, TSS is a way to quantify how hard you're working. It takes into account your power, your normalized power, more specific than power, your normalized power based on your FTP and how much time you spend above it and how much time you spend below it. For reference, if you were to pedal 1 hour at your FTP, which you should theoretically be able to do, you would get a score of 100. Okay, so imagine 1 hour at FTP, you would be on the floor ready to pass out. A very hard 1 hour. So this schedule broken up into 5 rides gives you a 223, and each individual ride, I can give you the TSS for each of those if you like. They're in the 40s roughly, so nothing too crazy. what do we expect from this training block, this 4-week training session physiologically? Okay, I think I've explained what we're looking at as far as what does the program look like, but physiologically, what can we expect? Well, what I would hope is strength gains. I hope you feel stronger at the end of this, and not on the bike, but more in able to lift things, able to move your body, able to perform work, to have your muscles conditioned in movements that are not done on the bike all the time. Depending on your starting point, you might see a bump up in aerobic fitness on the bike, okay? If you're just coming off the couch and joining us, welcome, you're in the right place. You're gonna increase your FDP from the start to the finish of this program, okay? If you have been doing this for a year, 5 years, 10 years, you're gonna lower your CTL, your chronic training load. Your CTL is your average 6 weeks of TSS, daily TSS. That's gonna come down. It doesn't mean your overall fitness comes down. It means your CTL at that time of the season is down, and it allows for more time for strength, but also you might experience a lower level of stress, less fatigue. A lot of comments about fatigue out there. That's very common right now. We've been working, trying to get back into it too hard, too fast. Fatigue can be a real thing. So you should be feeling motivated and ready to get after it at the end of this training block. Sound good? All right, that's what I have. Don't forget to check the box in the Team Wilpers portal after you do each ride. Go in, log in, check the box. If you are 100% consistent each week, you're eligible to, we draw a couple names and you get some swag. No, it's not scary. It's good. CTL going down only, so it's like a springboard, right? If you're, I was a diver, high school and college is a great analogy. The springboard, the board has to go down before it throws you all the way back up. Oh boy, it's getting ugly. All right, you guys have a great week. I will talk to you soon. See you on the Facebook group, and thanks for listening.